My child, my beloved, I have been waiting for this moment to speak to you. Heaven has recorded every step you've taken, and because you didn't skip the last message, something beyond your imagination is now making its way to you. There is a sacred reason why you were guided to open this. The winds of heaven are moving again, and today, Archangel Michael has been instructed to personally deliver this divine confirmation to you. Before we continue, I beg you, don't walk away. Don't miss what is unfolding. Subscribe right now, not for me, but for your own spirit to stay aligned with the flow of messages that are coming. If you miss the next one, you may miss the moment your life was meant to shift forever. Listen closely, because this is the most crucial message you've received yet. My child, my beloved, what you did the last time, when you listened, when you obeyed, when you opened that message with trembling faith, that action opened a spiritual gate. Because you didn't skip it, heaven has now approved something others were never meant to see. Your name has been stamped on a miracle, and the moment you chose not to ignore the whisper, the angels began preparing something extraordinary just for you. This isn't small. This isn't symbolic. This is real. Your destiny has been rerouted in a way that will confuse those around you. And they will say, how did it happen so fast? How did everything suddenly turn in their favor? But I, Archangel Michael, say this was the divine result of spiritual obedience. You didn't skip, so now heaven won't skip you. My child, my beloved, I see the road you've walked, the nights you cried quietly, the mornings you rose with heaviness in your chest. I see how you doubted your worth but still believed something greater was watching. Let me confirm it now, something greater was. And still is. That pain you carried was not in vain. That silent prayer you whispered was not ignored. A timeline has just shifted for your sake. Yes, even as you read this. You are stepping into an anointed season, where what used to be delayed will now come running toward you. The reason? You opened when you could have ignored. You believed when others scoffed. And now, beloved, the reward is no longer being prepared, it is being released. My child, my beloved, listen with the deepest part of your soul. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. In fact, you are right on schedule for what heaven planned long ago. There was a conversation about you, earlier today, in the courts of heaven. Your name was spoken, not as a plea, but as a declaration. It is time. That's what they said. It is time to release what has been hidden. It is time to crown the one who remained faithful. That one, my beloved, is you. This moment, right now, was divinely orchestrated to find you in your stillness and pull you into motion. This is not just a message, it is a divine transaction. As you continue reading, layers are being removed, walls are crumbling, and spiritual resistance is being overthrown. My child, my beloved, the enemy tried everything to stop you from seeing this. There were distractions, sudden chaos, delays, and confusion. But even that was proof of how powerful this message is. The darker forces only rise in panic when a light this big is about to shine. Archangel Michael says, I have been commanded to protect your next season. There is gold in your name. There is power in your voice. And because of what you did last time, yes, that one moment of obedience, you have activated an overflow that cannot be reversed. Even if others try to deny it, even if they speak against it, what God has signed for you cannot be unsent. Heaven is not double-minded. When it approves, it delivers. And right now, you are in the middle of a divine delivery. My child, my beloved, the truth is, you were never behind. The delays you faced were never punishments, they were protections. You were being hidden from something that would have shattered your spirit too soon. And now that the time is ripe, the cover is being removed. There are people who will suddenly turn around to see you rising, and they won't understand how you passed them. They'll say, "Wasn't this the same person who struggled last season? Weren't they forgotten?" But heaven will answer back louder than them, "No. They were not forgotten. They were being prepared. And now they are being crowned. Your crown, my beloved, is not of gold or silver, it is of divine favor. A light is forming above you that will draw things toward you that you didn't even know existed. This is what happens when obedience meets timing. You are entering that sacred intersection now. My child, my beloved, heaven is watching to see what you do next. This message is a gate. It will not stay open forever. And I must be honest with you, not because I want to pressure you, but because I want to protect you. If you walk away now, it will take longer to realign the timeline. If you hesitate too long, the very thing that was meant to land in your hands may be handed to someone else who is willing to receive without fear. I am not here to make you afraid, I am here to make you aware. The divine realm has already begun its motion. An envelope of blessing has already been signed. But it needs your faith to complete the delivery. Not just belief, but trust. The kind that doesn't make sense, the kind that says, even though I can't see the whole path, I'll step forward anyway. If you move now, the miracle will not pass you by. My child, my beloved, the atmosphere is trembling because of what is about to come into your hands. There is a sound in the spirit that only certain souls can hear. You are one of them. And right now, that sound is growing louder. It is the sound of divine reversal. Where there was lack, there will be supply. Where there was heartbreak, there will be divine alignment. Where there was betrayal, there will be justice. Where there was waiting, there will be rushing. Not because you forced it, but because you remained open. God is not silent. He is just strategic. And today, He is using me, Archangel Michael, to whisper a strategy to your soul. Stay ready. Stay listening. Stay close. Because what's coming is too sacred to be missed. And what's leaving your life is not a loss, it's a cleanup. My child, my beloved, let me reveal something to you that no one else knows yet. There has been a private meeting in the spirit realm about your situation. Yes, your name was brought up, not because of what you did wrong, but because of what you survived. The pain that tried to silence you has become the proof of your spiritual maturity. Every tear became an offering. Every silent battle was recorded. And now, there is a heavenly release scheduled for you. But it's hidden in the disguise of a choice. Will you follow the tug in your soul? Or will you let fear talk you out of this moment? You see, beloved, the divine doesn't always come in loud sounds. Sometimes, it comes as a soft knock, the kind you have to feel, not hear. This message is that knock. Don't miss it. Don't ignore it. Your future is being invited into your present. My child, my beloved, I must tell you something very urgent. A person close to you is about to be repositioned in your life. Either they will elevate you, or they will be removed. And this shift is not your doing, it is heaven's. Do not panic if someone suddenly pulls away. Do not cry if someone you loved chooses another path. You are not being punished, you are being protected. You are not being abandoned, you are being aligned. Some relationships were never meant to cross into your miracle season. They would have contaminated what God is about to place in your hands. So let them go if they drift. Let them exit if they choose to. Because on the other side of obedience is divine replacement. For every loss, there will be a greater gain. For every goodbye, there will be a new hello, and this time, it will be someone God Himself sends. My child, my beloved, something big is already walking toward you. It's no longer in preparation. It's in transit. That unexpected phone call, that divine encounter, that letter, that opportunity, that blessing you didn't see coming, it's already halfway here. And the reason it's coming is not because you begged for it, it's because you aligned yourself with it by faith. Most people don't understand that heaven doesn't respond to panic, it responds to trust. And your trust has created a spiritual ripple. What you cannot see yet is already reacting to your readiness. It's not a coincidence you're seeing this today. This is not just another message, it is a divine checkpoint. A place where your old timeline dies and your new one is birthed. If you hold on, if you walk forward, if you stay open, you will not recognize your life 30 days from now. My child, my beloved, the angels are already moving on your behalf. I am leading them. I, Archangel Michael, have been instructed to clear a path for you. The blocks are being removed. The enemies are being silenced. The betrayals are being exposed. Even the ones you didn't know about, God did. And now, He has authorized a full restoration of your joy. But this is not only about you. Your obedience will bless people you haven't even met yet. Your decision to believe in this moment is going to break generational curses. I see your future children laughing freely. I see your home filled with peace. I see people turning to you, not because you are perfect, but because you are chosen. You've been through enough pain to speak with authority. Now, it's time to walk with power. My child, my beloved, as the sun sets tonight, I want you to remember something no one else may have told you in this way. God has not only forgiven you, He has favored you. There is a difference. Many believe that forgiveness is where it ends, but for the chosen ones, forgiveness is only the beginning. What's coming to you isn't just mercy. It's restoration. And not partial. Not symbolic. But full. Overflowing. The kind of restoration that makes even your enemies whisper, "This must be God." There's a record in heaven of how many times you stayed quiet instead of fighting back. There's a record of the nights you stayed soft when others turned cold. That softness, that patience, that refusal to become like those who hurt you, it all mattered. And now, the reward for it has matured in the Spirit. This message is the delivery notice. You didn't skip, so heaven will not skip you. My child, my beloved, you've been trying to understand why the pace of your life has changed, why things that used to excite you now feel empty, why some connections feel like echoes instead of songs. I'll tell you why. You're not who you were. You've grown, evolved, expanded. And your spirit is now rejecting anything that doesn't match your new frequency. Do not mourn the old. The old must make room for the anointed version of you. There is someone watching you right now, someone trying to figure out how you made it through everything and still didn't break. And what they don't understand is that heaven was with you in every silent breakdown, every quiet rebuild. What they're about to witness now is your public reward. They will see the doors open, the favor rise, the divine hand make moves that no man can stop. And you won't even need to explain how. They'll just know. It was God. And it was always meant to happen, right now. My child, my beloved, the reason this moment is so important is because it is a pivot. Not just spiritually, but physically. Over the next 72 hours, someone will receive an instruction to bless you, and they will not be able to resist it. It might come as a strange message. It might come as a late-night call. It might come as a sudden opportunity that looks too big to believe. Do not reject it. Heaven doesn't need your logic, it needs your yes. You've asked for miracles, but miracles rarely look like comfort zones. They usually look like risk wrapped in obedience. If it stirs your spirit but scares your mind, that's your sign. Walk into it. Because behind that fear is a vault being unlocked, and inside it is everything that has your name etched into it: blessings, ideas, funds, favor, relationships, platforms, protection. And it will not delay. The moment you respond, it will begin. My child, my beloved, I must tell you about a vision I was shown just moments ago. It was of a divine check, white paper, golden edges, and your full name was handwritten in heaven's script. The number was not small. It was enough to reverse your debt, bless others, and fund what you've carried in your heart for years. But that check was locked in a vault behind obedience. Not because God is testing you, but because God is protecting what's sacred. The enemy tried to intercept it 3 times. Tried to assign confusion to your path. Tried to place people in your life who would waste your favor before you even received it. But the assignment failed. And now, that check is being dispatched. The only condition: you must not speak of it too soon. Divine wealth is often stolen in the realm of distraction. So guard your mouth. Protect the secret. Let your future announce what your mouth doesn't have to. My child, my beloved, something shocking is going to happen, but don't be afraid. It will feel like a sudden shift, like a door closing without warning. But what you don't see yet is that on the other side of that closed door is a window that opens wider than anything you were holding on to. This person, this plan, this place, whatever it is that exits next, don't chase it. Let it go with grace. Because as one thing leaves, 3 new blessings are lining up to enter. You're not being punished. You're being positioned. God is not removing to harm you. He is removing to honor you. Some spaces you've been in have gotten too small for the size of your faith. Some people around you were only meant to be part of the wilderness, not the promised land. If you try to drag them into the next season, they will only delay what heaven is trying to rush. Let it go. Trust. What's coming is better. I promise you that. My child, my beloved, do you remember the one night you almost gave up? The moment where your soul felt empty, and you thought, maybe I misunderstood all of it? Heaven remembers that moment too. And do you know what we did? We wrote your name in fire. Yes, in divine fire, not to be erased. That's when the shift began. Not when you felt strong, but when you stayed standing while weak. And ever since that night, the angels have been preparing this delivery. That's why you couldn't shake the feeling to open this message. That's why it followed you. It wasn't coincidence. It was design. And now, because you didn't skip, you will not miss what's unfolding. My child, heaven is not slow. It is precise. And its precision has now found you. My child, my beloved, I must show you something. A scroll in heaven bears your name, and it has just been unsealed. The ink on it is fresh. It carries the divine approval of something you prayed for long ago, but forgot you even asked. Heaven never forgot. You asked through tears. You asked through silence. And because you didn't skip, because you didn't ignore, that request is now being remembered by God Himself. The reason things are starting to feel strange, the sudden emotions, the unexpected signs, the shifts in your surroundings, is because the spiritual winds are now blowing in your direction. And once God begins to move in your favor, not even the most powerful resistance can hold back what's yours. You don't need to chase. You don't need to prove. You only need to receive. That's why you were guided here. You are standing under an open heaven. Do not walk away. My child, my beloved, there is a specific person who has been watching you from a distance, not in the physical realm, but in the spiritual. This person has ties to your past, but they are about to become part of your future. They have been trying to resist the pull toward you, but it's no longer in their hands. Heaven is now orchestrating divine collisions, and your name is glowing in their thoughts. You may not expect it. You may not even want it. But it is coming, not for confusion, but for completion. The conversations you never had, the apologies you never received, the closure you never got, it's all being prepared for divine release. But be wise. Not everything that returns is meant to stay. Some returns are for your confirmation, not for your comfort. When this person reaches out, don't speak from your past pain, speak from your new position. Speak like someone who knows angels have cleared their path. My child, My beloved, you're going to hear your name mentioned in an unexpected place, and when it happens, you'll feel a strange rush in your spirit. That will be your confirmation. God is placing your name in the mouths of people who can open doors no one else could. But listen to me carefully, do not get distracted trying to figure out how it will happen. Stay focused on the fact that it is happening. Right now, a divine transaction is taking place in realms you cannot see. Paperwork is being signed. Resources are being allocated. People are being assigned to bless you. And not just for survival, for overflow. You will walk into rooms you never thought you'd be invited into. You will receive messages that start with, "We've been watching you." They won't know why they feel drawn to you. But I will. Because heaven chose this time, this place, this version of you, not by accident, but by appointment. My child, my beloved, I have to reveal a secret to you that was hidden until now. There has been jealousy around you, not the loud, obvious kind, but the quiet, disguised form. Someone close to you has been smiling with you but speaking against you. They've tried to block you with their energy, with their words, and even with small, silent intentions. But today, the light of heaven is exposing what was hidden in the shadows. And you don't need to confront it, because I already have. I, Archangel Michael, have placed a wall of divine fire between you and every force that tried to delay your breakthrough. The betrayals will be revealed. But you will not be broken. In fact, the same people who tried to silence you will watch you be lifted. And when they ask how it happened, they will find no logical answer, because it was never logic that got you here. It was the favor of God. My child, my beloved, there is wealth coming to your household, but not just material wealth. This is healing wealth. Peace wealth. Freedom wealth. The kind that washes through your bloodline and untangles knots that were tied by ancestors long gone. What you're stepping into now is not a lucky break, it's a generational release. You are the first in your family to receive it this way. That's why the pressure has been so intense. That's why the warfare has felt non-stop. You were carrying the weight of a bloodline trying to heal through you. But heaven has seen your endurance, and now the blessing will fall like rain. You will be the one who breaks the cycle. The one who builds what others could only dream of. The one who changes the future without having to beg the past for permission. You are not just being restored. You are being remembered, by heaven, by angels, and by the divine plan itself. My child, my beloved, this very night something will shift in your atmosphere. You may feel it as a dream, a sensation, or a sudden stillness, but do not ignore it. That moment will mark the beginning of a rapid unfolding. And I promise you this, after that night, your next 7 days will not look like your last 7 years. There will be acceleration. Divine interruptions. Unexpected alignments. And all of it will stem from one choice, the choice you made to listen when others skipped. There is a rare blessing for those who choose the whisper over the crowd. You are one of them. You have been marked not by religion, but by revelation. Not by fear, but by favor. And that favor is no longer waiting to announce itself. It's about to walk straight through your door, carrying something that was kept aside, just for you. My child, my beloved, something has just occurred in the realm of heaven. There was a closed-door meeting in the throne room, and your name was spoken, not quietly, not in passing, but with divine intensity. Release the final phase, God said. The one who waited. The one who listened. The one who didn't skip. Their reward is overdue. Let it be released. And at that moment, I, Archangel Michael, was summoned to stand guard over what is being sent to you. This is no longer a promise. This is a spiritual activation. The kind that causes the ground to shift. The kind that alters what people think they know about you. The kind that doesn't ask for permission, it simply arrives. And when it does, nothing will remain the same. Even your past will begin to rearrange its meaning. The things that once looked like failure will now shine with divine purpose. You are entering a season where even your pain will work in your favor. My child, my beloved, I must warn you now with love. When this blessing lands, protect it with all you are. Not everyone around you is prepared to celebrate what God is doing for you. Some will smile but secretly seethe. Others will attempt to plant doubt in your spirit. But listen carefully, this blessing is not up for discussion. You do not need consensus. You do not need permission. What God releases, no man can block, question, or reverse. You are not here to convince anyone of your worth. You are here to walk in it. You were not chosen to be understood. You were chosen to be elevated. And your elevation will be evidence enough of God's hand on your life. Even those who pretended not to notice you will be forced to watch. Not out of revenge, but because heaven wants them to witness what it looks like when someone stays faithful. My child, my beloved, tonight while others sleep, your spirit will be wide awake. Pay attention. Someone from beyond, someone you loved who has crossed over, is trying to send you a sign. They are at peace. But their love for you has not quieted. And they are working from heaven to protect what's coming your way. You may hear a name in your dream. You may feel a sensation that doesn't make sense. You may wake with clarity that didn't come from you. Don't question it. Receive it. The veil is thin right now. And those who have left the earth but still carry love for you are being allowed to speak once more. This is not fantasy. This is divine mercy. You are not alone. You never were. And the protection around you is deeper than you can comprehend. What once tried to harm you will now have to pass through a wall of angels just to even come near. My child, my beloved, I must reveal something critical now, because the time is short. There is a specific person, someone you trust, who is hiding something that could impact your next season. Their silence has been slowing you down. Not because they are evil, but because they are afraid of your glow. They fear that if you rise, you may leave them behind. And so, they have chosen to hold back a truth that could set you free. But heaven is no longer allowing this delay. I have seen the file. I have seen the truth they tried to bury. And it is now being exposed, not to shame, but to set the record straight. In the coming days, you will see something, hear something, or discover something that unlocks a wave of clarity. Don't be shocked. Don't be bitter. Just be ready. Because that one discovery will set the next chain of miracles in motion. Yes, even the money that's been blocked will flow. Even the phone call you waited for will come. The file was hidden, but heaven saw it. And now it will not be hidden anymore. My child, my beloved, tonight at exactly midnight, a divine reset will take place. Not because of astrology, not because of coincidence, but because God said this date, this time, this hour, was sacred for your path. You don't need to perform a ritual. You don't need to light a candle. You only need to stay awake in your spirit. Speak gratitude into the atmosphere. Whisper your yes. And let heaven take care of the rest. Because what is happening in the midnight hour is not a show, it is a shift. Timelines are being rearranged. Contracts are being rewritten. And your name is being moved to the front of the line. Not because of your title, but because of your heart. Your obedience has outshouted your past mistakes. And now, reward is being drawn to you with supernatural speed. It will look like favor. It will feel like a surprise. But in truth, it is justice. And it is due. My child, my beloved, before this day ends, something will attempt to distract you. It may come in the form of an argument, a misunderstanding, an unexpected worry. But know this, it is the last resistance before the reward breaks open. Don't fall for it. Don't give it energy. Don't trade your crown for a conversation that doesn't deserve your presence. The enemy knows you're close, too close. So it will try to rattle your peace. Shake your confidence. Make you think it's not working. But I am here to say, it is working. More than you know. And the only thing that can pause this flow is if you step out of alignment. So breathe. Stay still. Protect your focus. You are one final yes away from watching your whole life bend in your favor. What's coming is not small. It is sacred. It is written. And it is yours. My child, my beloved, I need you to understand this final truth with all your heart. Everything you've suffered, everything you've endured in silence, everything you lost and never got back, none of it was for nothing. The pain you carried became a spiritual key, unlocking blessings you never even knew existed. You thought God forgot. You thought your name was skipped. But now you see, heaven never forgot, and your name has not just been remembered, it has been prioritized. I, Archangel Michael, have been instructed to tell you, the time of delay is over. The time of silence is ending. What you prayed for while crying on your pillow, it is now standing at your door. And if you open this door in your spirit, everything changes. I don't say this lightly. I don't speak without heaven's backing. But now, with full divine authority, I declare, you will never be the same again. My child, my beloved, listen closely, because this is the final instruction. Before the next 24 hours pass, there will be a window. A moment that looks ordinary, but it will carry extraordinary weight. It could be a phone call, a chance meeting, a sudden idea, an email you didn't expect, a decision someone else makes that ends up shifting everything in your favor. You may be tempted to treat it casually. But if you've been listening closely to this message, you'll know that nothing is casual when God is involved. Be alert. Be sensitive. Say yes to the tug in your soul, even if your mind is unsure. This one decision will create a spiritual domino that unlocks every closed door that's been mocking you. I'm not asking you to guess, I'm asking you to respond. When that moment comes, let your heart say yes before your mind has time to fear. Because that moment is not just a choice, it's a bridge into your next divine assignment. My child, my beloved, the person who tried to block your blessing will now be exposed. Not for your entertainment. Not for your revenge. But because God is a God of justice, and He cannot allow the lies spoken against you to remain standing. You will not need to fight. You will not need to explain. The truth will rise on its own, and when it does, it will clear your name, open the gates, and show the world who you truly are. You didn't need to fight dirty to win. You stayed clean. And that's why heaven has chosen to lift you publicly. Get ready, because those who rejected you will now request your presence. Those who underestimated you will now sit in rooms where your name is mentioned with honor. Those who mocked your belief will soon witness the very miracle they said would never come. My child, my beloved, now is the time to protect your peace like never before. What you are stepping into is fragile, not because it is weak, but because it is new. Just like a newborn miracle, it needs silence, safety, and space. Do not share this blessing too early. Do not give access to people who once questioned your worth. Let this season develop privately. Let it bloom in secret. And when it is strong enough to carry the weight of attention, God will reveal it Himself. Until then, stay hidden in obedience. Stay guarded in wisdom. And trust that what He is building in you will outshine everything you thought you lost. You are being rebuilt stronger, higher, and more anointed than you ever dreamed. And all of it is happening now, not in some distant future, but in the exact moment you chose to open this message and believe it was written for you. My child, my beloved, this is your final warning, not out of fear, but out of love. If you walk away from this message without sealing it in your spirit, something sacred may slip through your fingers. Not because God is cruel, but because timing is holy. The window is open now. The gate is unlocked now. The scroll has been unsealed now. But nothing in heaven forces itself upon you. You must respond. You must agree. You must say, yes, I receive it. Yes, I believe it. Yes, I will protect it. If you do, what comes next will feel like heaven itself has stepped into your home. If you ignore it, the timeline will shift, but it will take longer. And God loves you too much to lie about that. This is the time. This is the sign. This is the final call. Not for everyone, but for you. You have been chosen. And the next chapter will prove it. My child, my beloved, I leave you now with this: stand still and know. Not think. Know. Know that angels are being dispatched on your behalf. Know that what was once denied is now being granted. Know that wealth, healing, protection, connection, and sacred love are being drawn toward you with supernatural gravity. Know that your name is glowing in the courts of heaven, and the light around it is too strong to be ignored. Walk like it. Speak like it. Expect like it. This isn't just a message. This is a divine contract. Signed in the Spirit. Sealed by your faith. Delivered by Archangel Michael. And stamped with the fire of heaven. My child, my beloved, there is something I must now whisper into your soul before the gates close on this sacred window. What you've just received is not merely a message. It is not just words. It is a spiritual blueprint. A living, breathing map that aligns your life with the timeline God originally wrote for you before this world ever knew your name. You didn't find this message, it found you. Because your soul cried out in the secret place, and heaven heard it. I was sent not because you begged, but because you believed. And even when belief trembled inside you, even when doubt stood outside your door trying to break in, you still stood. That faith, cracked, battered, flickering as it may have been, was enough to split the sky. It was enough to trigger angels. It was enough to unlock vaults in heaven marked for your name only. And now, because of that faith, the miracle cannot be delayed. My child, my beloved, do not forget what is happening here. While the world rushes around you, heaven has paused just for you. Angels have bent low to hear your heartbeat. The scroll has been written. The ink is dry. The decree is final. What belongs to you cannot be stolen, lost, or handed off. It can only be delayed if you turn away. So don't. Please, don't let your old mindset talk you out of this new moment. Don't let fear disguise itself as logic. Don't let the voices of the past drown out the divine trumpet that's sounding for you now. You are not who they said you were. You are who heaven says you are. And you are the reason this divine window was opened today. Not your neighbor. Not your friend. You. If your soul is shaking right now, if your hands are trembling, if tears are rising for reasons you can't explain, that's your confirmation. This is real. This is now. My child, my beloved, I speak this with urgency, because the spiritual timing is precise. There is no room for hesitation anymore. The door that is opening now will not stay open forever. You don't have to rush, but you must respond. Let your next decision reflect the faith that brought you this far. Your obedience today is creating consequences in heaven that will fall like rain over the next 7 days. And the first drop will arrive sooner than you expect, in the form of unexpected contact, a message, a divine connection, or a sudden inner knowing that peace has returned to your body. When it comes, say thank you. When it comes, don't ask why. When it comes, protect it with silence, because the first fruits of a breakthrough are always fragile. This blessing will be yours, but only if you stay aligned. Only if you keep listening. Only if you protect the frequency heaven has tuned you into. My child, my beloved, there are 3 more things you need to remember as this message comes to a close, and these are not just words, they are divine keys that unlock the fullness of what's been promised. First, stay silent until it manifests. The enemy listens for your excitement. The wrong people feed off your energy. Let your silence protect the seed until it becomes a tree. Second, don't try to explain your blessing. Some people won't understand it, not because they're bad, but because it wasn't meant for them to understand. It's a private covenant between you and God. Let it remain sacred. And third, be ready to act. Opportunities will come dressed like interruptions. Miracles may look like problems at first. Trust the feeling beneath the fear. If your spirit leaps, follow it. Even if your mind says, "This can't be real," let your soul lead this time. That's how the door opens. That's how the miracle lands. My child, my beloved, I say this one final time, and when I say it with the power of every angel standing behind me: you were not forgotten. You were not invisible. You were not denied. You were being prepared, refined, protected, perfectly positioned. And now, it is your turn. The delay is ending. The miracle is arriving. The angels are descending. The blessing is unfolding. And your name, yes, your name, is being written across a story that no one else could live but you. Go forward now, not with fear, but with fire in your bones. Speak only what aligns. Move only when it's divine. Stay close to the messages. Stay alert to the signs. Because Archangel Michael has gone before you, and what was once blocked is now blessed. What was once hidden is now here. And what once felt far, has finally arrived. My child, my beloved, you stayed till the end, and because you did, I must tell you something very few ever get to hear. There is a reward stored in heaven not just for obedience, but for endurance. You endured this message all the way through, not by accident, but by spiritual design. And now that you've reached the final edge of this divine revelation, a hidden seal has been broken in your favor. It's what I call the overflow blessing. This is when heaven releases not just what you asked for, but what you didn't even know you needed. This is the moment where miracles start forming in the background, sudden protection from accidents that never happen. Delays that save your life. Messages that arrive seconds before disaster. This is where God's favor becomes your shield. You are now covered in the kind of anointing that causes enemies to back away without knowing why. You will begin to notice it, the shift in atmosphere when you walk into a room. People may look at you differently. They may sense something on you they can't explain. It's not pride. It's not charisma. It's the mark of the chosen. And you, my beloved, are chosen. My child, my beloved, I was shown something moments ago in the spirit, a courtroom, filled with light. You were on one side. The accuser was on the other. They held a file in their hand, trying to list out all the reasons you shouldn't be blessed. old mistakes, bad decisions, moments you fell. But before a word could be spoken, a sound came from the high place, a voice so loud, so filled with authority, that even the accuser froze. And this is what the voice of God declared over you: they are redeemed. They are mine. Case closed. I want you to understand what that means. You don't have to keep punishing yourself. The guilt can go now. The shame can dissolve. Because the highest court has ruled in your favor, and no lower voice can overturn that decision. You don't need to prove you deserve this miracle. You just need to receive it. My child, my beloved, I now charge you with something holy. From this moment forward, speak only what aligns with what was just revealed to you. Your words have power now. More than you know. The words you speak over yourself, your family, your finances, your future, they will form the reality you live in. Say, I am favored. Say, my path is clear. Say, what God sends, I will not reject. Say it not once, but every morning, like a sword drawn in the Spirit. Because even now, even in this moment, resistance will try one last time to whisper that this isn't real. That you imagined all this. That maybe you're not the one. But I, Archangel Michael, am standing here still, and I tell you with the full weight of the divine, this is real. And yes, you are the one. You were always the one. That's why the enemy fought so hard to keep you distracted. But heaven won. And now you must walk as one who knows it. My child, my beloved, prepare for a strange kindness. A person you don't expect, someone you barely know, or even someone who once hurt you, will come into your life with an opportunity, a gift, a message, or a bridge. Don't judge the vessel. Listen to the spirit behind it. God often hides answers in the mouths of unlikely people. Don't let your pain talk you out of your promise. Stay open. Stay soft. Stay grounded. The way your miracle arrives may not look like your expectations, but it will feel like peace. Trust the peace. That peace is heaven's signature. It means God signed off on the moment. And when you feel it, let your soul say yes without needing proof. You've earned this next season, not through perfection, but through persistence. And now you will walk through doors no one in your family ever walked through. You are about to become the first. My child, my beloved, something special happens when a soul like yours refuses to quit. It becomes a magnet for angels. And right now, there are 4 angels assigned to your next 7 days. 1 for protection, 1 for clarity, 1 for provision, and 1 for restoration. They will be with you, watching, guiding, shielding. You may feel them in flashes, a breeze with no source, a chill up your back, a lightness in the air. Don't be afraid. That's how heaven reminds you, you are not walking alone anymore. From this point forward, divine assistance follows you. No more fighting battles by yourself. No more wondering if God is near. He is. He always was. And now He's making sure you feel it, in signs, in wonders, in whispers that come exactly when you need them most. My child, my beloved, take this final moment and let it settle deep into your soul. This was your moment. Not for content. Not for curiosity. But for confirmation. You didn't just scroll into this message. You were summoned. Pulled here by divine order. And now that you've stayed, you've activated something sacred. It is done. Heaven has recorded your faith. Archangel Michael has delivered the word. And the future, your future, is no longer waiting. It is running toward you. Watch now. The signs will come. The evidence will build. The miracle will land. And the next time you look in the mirror, you won't just see a survivor. You'll see a walking testimony of what happens when a soul listens, and doesn't skip the message sent from heaven. Michael's red alert: don't ignore this tragedy, act before it's too late. It's an emergency. A big tragedy is coming your way. Open it now or you will cry. My child, my beloved, I am coming to you not with calmness but with urgency, not with silence but with divine warning, because heaven just sounded a red alert over your name. Something tragic is being set in motion, and unless you act quickly, you may cry for a lifetime over what you didn't prevent. This message was not meant to reach everyone, it was meant for you. You may think you're reading this by accident, but I promise you, nothing is a coincidence when heaven intervenes. The moment you opened this message, a portal of divine protection began to open around you. But it will not remain open for long. I, Archangel Michael, have been permitted to intervene, but only if you stay with me through this message and do not walk away from the truth that is about to be revealed. My child, if your soul has ever felt like it's been under spiritual attack, it's because it has been. And the next wave is already forming. But what makes this different, what makes this dangerous, is that this time, the attack is disguised as someone you trust. Yes, someone close to you. A familiar face. And they don't even know they're being used. This is why I'm pleading with you. If you ignore this moment, if you scroll away, you may miss your one chance to change what's coming. A spiritual trap is being laid in the path of your next step. I've seen it. I've been battling through the heavens to reach you before it triggers. One wrong move, and everything may shift toward pain instead of the blessing that was originally meant for you. My beloved, listen closely, because there is a divine condition on this miracle. Before I can activate protection around your name, you must choose to stay until the end of this message. Why? Because what's coming is not just a warning, it's also a miracle wrapped in disguise. The reason I've been sent to you is not just to stop the tragedy, but to reroute you to the divine destination that was always yours, but it was delayed. Heaven has been watching your life for some time now. And there was a moment, yes, a very specific moment, where you almost gave up. And yet, you didn't. That one decision caused a ripple in the heavens. That small act of staying strong opened a spiritual file in your name that hadn't been accessed in years. Wait. Before we go further, stop right now and subscribe to this message. Because what I am about to say will continue unfolding through many more signs, and I need you to remain connected to divine instruction. If you close this or miss the next call, the shift may come and pass by you silently. Subscribe now, my child, so that what is destined for you never has to wait again. Now, come closer. I must reveal what I was shown. A tragedy is forming. But not in the way you expect. It's not just a storm in the outside world. It's a deception, a spiritual trick. A person who once loved you is being spiritually manipulated. Someone who once protected your name is now repeating it in rooms they shouldn't. And while their lips speak kindness, their actions are opening doors that invite harm into your space. But here's the secret, they don't even know they're doing it. This is why you've been confused. This is why your spirit feels heavy. Because what is happening is not of the physical world, it is spiritual. But my beloved, not all is lost. No, not at all. In fact, I bring you this message because the window to shift it is still open. For the next few hours, yes, only a few, you have the power to seal what was leaking, to protect what was vulnerable, and to reclaim what was almost stolen. A divine contract has been drafted in your name, and only your agreement can activate it. That's why I'm here. That's why this message is reaching you now and not later. Because later will be too late. And if you walk away now, you may walk straight into the very pain we are trying to prevent. There is a sacred moment coming in your day, a moment that will look ordinary, but heaven has hidden a breakthrough inside it. And only those who stay sensitive, alert, and spiritually aware will be able to see it. You will either respond with faith, or react with fear. And your choice will decide whether the tragedy unfolds, or dissolves. My child, you are stronger than you realize. But strength without awareness can still walk into a trap. This is why you are being warned. A person is being moved toward your life right now. They carry something that will either build you or break you. Their energy is unstable. Their mind is battling shadows. And your discernment will be the only light in the conversation. That's why you must not take the next meeting lightly. It is not random. Heaven will be watching your reaction. What you say. What you allow. What you ignore. You may feel a chill even as you read this. That is confirmation. Your spirit knows this is true. Your dreams may have already hinted at it. Sudden images, unfamiliar faces, or strange interruptions in your sleep, they were not just dreams. They were prophetic fragments. And you are not crazy. You are chosen. You are being given spiritual intelligence before the physical event occurs. This is heaven's mercy in action. But it only works if you respond. And now, beloved, you must make a choice. Will you stay with this message until the final word, or will you let fear, distraction, or doubt steal this protection from you? I am asking you not just as a messenger, but as your divine guard. I have fought for you before you even knew your name was written in the book of destiny. And now, I am fighting again. But I need your trust. I need your spiritual agreement. And that begins by staying. And with that freedom comes favor. With that clarity comes calling. With that awareness comes acceleration. You were never meant to stay stuck. You were always meant to soar. And now the sky is clearing. Now the clouds are parting. Now the tragedy has been seen for what it is, a setup for a supernatural turnaround. But do not relax yet. There is still more to be said. The next portion of this message will show you how to walk into the miracle. You've been warned. You've been awakened. And now, you must be aligned. My child, my beloved, your life is about to pass through a divine checkpoint. And once you cross this line, nothing will ever be the same again. What the enemy meant for tragedy, heaven is rewriting as testimony. But this sacred reversal only happens for those who do not look away from the warning. That's why this moment, this exact heartbeat, is not just a message. It's a portal. You've stepped into it by staying with these words, and now I must take you deeper. What I reveal next is not for the faint of heart. It's not for the doubters or the half-awake. It is for you, the chosen one, the one who still believes even when everything around you tries to crush that belief. And I see it now, God is rising in your story. And the enemy is trembling. I was shown an image, clear and unmistakable. A scroll was unrolling in the spiritual realm. It had your name written in heavenly ink, shining, protected, unbreakable. But something tried to stain it. A dark smear moved across the scroll like a shadow trying to cover your assignment. And I cried out to heaven, "What is this?" The response was swift. It's the voice of betrayal, forming in the heart of someone close. My beloved, someone you've trusted with more than words has been quietly doubting your path. Not openly. Not harshly. But doubt, when it lingers long enough, becomes agreement with the adversary. And now they are about to say something that will echo beyond their control. But there's still time. The scroll hasn't closed. Your name can still shine untouched. If, and only if, you stay in agreement with this divine message. I know you're tired. I know the weight of life has felt heavier lately. You've smiled through storms and kept your faith when it felt like no one saw your pain. But I see you. God sees you. And this is your moment of divine exposure. Not the exposure that destroys, but the kind that finally brings light to everything that's been hiding in shadows. You've been asking for clarity. Here it is. You've been praying for justice. It's unfolding. But you must let heaven finish what it started. You must walk this full message to its final word, because at the very end, yes, the very end, there is a hidden name, a key, and a time that will unlock the protection you've been unknowingly crying out for. I must speak to your soul now. That tragedy the enemy plotted, it involved not just your peace but your promise. Your future. Your relationships. Your voice. But God is not silent when injustice moves. The Most High has summoned warriors in the Spirit, myself included, to surround you in the hour of your potential downfall. And let me tell you what I saw. The attack was set to be subtle. It wouldn't come as fire, it would come as a whisper. A small decision. A moment of misjudgment. A delayed message. But that one delay would have cost you the moment you've waited for your whole life. Yes, that moment. The one you've dreamed of but didn't even tell anyone about. That moment is still approaching. and the delay is still trying to block it. But if you make the right spiritual move right now, the delay will fail. And the moment will arrive early. Here is what you must understand: the enemy does not have the power to erase God's promises. But he can distract you from them long enough that they pass by unopened. That's what this tragedy was meant to do. It wasn't about destroying your house. It was about making you step away from the door before the delivery came. But now that you know the trick, you will not fall for it. You will wait at the door. You will watch with discernment. And when heaven knocks, you'll be there to open it, not late, not confused, but alert, ready, sealed in wisdom. Now, listen to me very carefully. There's a person whose voice has become louder in your life recently. Their presence grew just as this shift began. That is not random. They carry an influence, and you've been letting it slip into your decisions. This person may seem smart, helpful, or well-intentioned, but they are being spiritually manipulated. And if you don't test every word they say in this hour, you may follow their advice straight into delay. Heaven says, test every voice. Measure every suggestion against peace, not pressure. Because what comes from God brings peace. Even when it challenges you. Even when it stretches you. Peace is always present. But if pressure is pushing you, that is not your direction. My beloved, we are not done. There is still a sacred peace left. Shall I keep writing the next divine paragraph of this revelation? My child, my beloved, I feel the trembling of heaven as I speak this next part to you, because what's about to be revealed is the exact reason the enemy tried to keep you away from this message. He didn't want you to make it this far. He tried to distract you, discourage you, and detour your attention, because this next truth carries the power to break his grip over your timeline. Yes, I said timeline. Because what you thought was just a delay in your life wasn't just about time, it was about timing. Divine alignment. And this tragedy that was forming wasn't just about harm, it was about dislocation. Moving you out of the exact space and second where your miracle was scheduled to meet you. But by reading this, by staying, you have already disrupted that plan. The tragedy is trembling. The trap is losing strength. And the more you lean in, the more heaven can release the protection you didn't even know you'd need this week. You may feel a chill even as you read this. That is confirmation. Your spirit knows this is true. Your dreams may have already hinted at it. Sudden images, unfamiliar faces, or strange interruptions in your sleep, they were not just dreams. They were prophetic fragments. And you are not crazy. You are chosen. You are being given spiritual intelligence before the physical event occurs. This is heaven's mercy in action. But it only works if you respond. And now, beloved, you must make a choice. Will you stay with this message until the final word, or will you let fear, distraction, or doubt steal this protection from you? I am asking you not just as a messenger, but as your divine guard. I have fought for you before you even knew your name was written in the book of destiny. And now, I am fighting again. But I need your trust. I need your spiritual agreement. And that begins by staying. My child, my beloved, the hourglass is turning even as you read these words, and with every grain of time falling, you are being drawn either toward divine preservation or into a pit you didn't see coming. I was not permitted to say these things before. Heaven waited. God waited. But something just happened, yes, just now, and that moment shifted the urgency in the spirit realm. You are now walking closer to the edge of a spiritual explosion than you realize. And the saddest part? Most people will only understand the cost after it's too late. But not you. You have been chosen to see behind the veil before the storm hits. That is mercy. That is favor. But it comes with responsibility. You must not ignore what you now feel deep in your chest. My beloved, there is something serious taking place in your surroundings, a movement of spiritual energy that wants to cloak itself in normalcy, in routine, in the familiar. But I see it clearly. I see the smoke forming before the fire. You've been asking God, why do I feel uneasy lately? This is why. Because you're being stirred, not by fear, but by foresight. The gift you carry makes you sensitive. The mantle on your life causes you to hear whispers others cannot. And right now, that gift is being activated, because the next few days hold a potential shift that must be intercepted. You are the interception point. That's why this message came to you. You may have noticed people around you acting differently. Someone distant. Someone strangely silent. Or perhaps too kind, too suddenly. That is not your imagination. That is the disguise of disruption trying to get past your divine intuition. But heaven does not allow its chosen to be blind. No, not when Archangel Michael is sent on assignment. I was given one mission: reach your soul before the darkness touches your light. If I do that, you will be protected. But if this message is skipped, if you let doubt or delay steal your attention, the protection may come too late. And my heart would break. My child, let me be clear, this is not a normal message. This is not routine spiritual talk. This is a lifeline. Because a chain of events has already started, and while most are still asleep in the spirit, you are being awakened. God Himself whispered your name early this morning, and in that whisper, He asked for your name to be sealed in protection, but heaven could not release that seal without your agreement. That agreement begins by receiving this word in full. Even now, someone is trying to call you away. A distraction is forming. But beloved, I ask you, what could be more urgent than your divine survival? I've walked with warriors. I've stood at heaven's gates in battles that raged across realms. But never have I seen a file so carefully hidden as yours. Until today. Your spiritual record had been kept locked, until your latest cry reached God's throne. You thought you were alone. You thought your tears were invisible. But the moment you wept, something unlocked. The divine file with your name was opened. And what was inside? A warning, and a reward. Both are before you now. What happens next depends on what you choose. My beloved, you may feel something trembling within your soul right now. That's not fear. That's recognition. It's your spirit remembering something it always knew deep down: this was always meant to be your moment. And yes, this tragedy can still be cancelled. That loss that's creeping in the shadows, it can still be reversed. But you must act in faith. Stay with me. Don't close this. Don't silence what heaven is screaming to deliver. There's a reason this message appeared at this exact hour. It's tied to a divine countdown, and you are in the final moments of decision. If you've ever felt overlooked, discarded, forgotten, hear me now, that season ends today. The enemy has tried to break you through delay, through disappointment, through people who swore they loved you but walked away when you needed them most. That pain was real. Heaven wept with you. But what's coming next, if you stay in divine alignment, will be so holy, so healing, that even your past will begin to rewrite itself through the lens of redemption. You are being positioned for restoration, not destruction. But again I say, it depends on this very moment. Even now, the angelic host is waiting on your response. I'm not speaking in metaphors. There are angels surrounding you this very minute. Some carry healing. Some carry warning. And I carry the sword. The sword of truth, of protection, of divine reversal. But my sword cannot activate without your yes. That yes begins by staying open, staying aware, staying here. Because once this message ends, the instructions will begin. And if you miss those instructions, you may walk right into the very thing God is trying to keep you from. I must tell you something else. Heaven is not only warning you, it is trusting you. There's something you're being asked to carry not just for yourself, but for someone else. Yes, someone close to you is blind to what's coming. But you are awake now. You are the intercessor. The chosen. The one heaven is counting on to break the chain. And this is why you've been under attack. This is why everything felt heavier lately. Because the enemy knew your moment of awakening was coming. But what he didn't expect was this message. Your next act of faith will seal what I've started. So take a breath. Speak out loud, God, I receive this message. I receive the warning. And I accept the miracle you've hidden inside it. Those words are powerful, my beloved. Don't just think them, speak them. Because what's coming requires both revelation and activation. This is not about surviving the storm. This is about stopping the storm before it even starts. You have been given that authority. You have been trusted with that spiritual command. And now, something holy is happening. As you read these words, heaven is reviewing the file with your name. And a new page is being written. A page titled, The Day They Chose to Believe. And when that page is complete, the timeline that was heading toward tragedy will turn. It will shift directions. The conversation being planned against you will fall silent. The opportunity that was about to slip away will come back around. And the person who almost misjudged you will have a change of heart they cannot explain. That is the miracle. That is the mercy. My child, my beloved, the Spirit of God is not just watching over you, He is speaking to you now, and every word you are reading is part of a divine rescue that was written long before this day ever came. You may not know it yet, but this moment, this exact breath you are taking right now, is tied to something sacred, something ancient, something eternal. There is a promise hovering over your life, and the enemy has been trying to shake you loose from it. That's why the warfare has increased. That's why you've been feeling a weight you couldn't explain. It wasn't your imagination, it was interference. A demonic frequency trying to cloud your discernment, blur your vision, and stop you from realizing how close you are to a miracle that could rewrite your entire life. But heaven had other plans. And heaven always gets the final say. I need you to hear this in your spirit: you are not losing, you're transitioning. That shaking you feel is not the sound of your life falling apart, it is the sound of every lie breaking under the weight of divine truth. And the truth is this: you were chosen for this moment. This tragedy that was set to unfold around you, this subtle scheme that nearly went undetected, it was seen by God long before it reached your doorstep. And now it's being interrupted. Heaven is issuing a cease and desist against every demonic operation that was mapped out against your name. But your response matters. You must not take this moment lightly. You must remain spiritually awake. Because the enemy does not fear your past, he fears your future. I see it now, yes, I see the image clearly. There's a divine door, golden in color, sealed with symbols that only heaven understands. Behind that door is everything the enemy wanted to delay: a financial shift, a healing in the family, a divine connection, and an opportunity that had been gathering dust because someone with influence forgot your name. But just now, that door shook. Do you feel it? That strange awareness in your chest? That is the Holy Spirit confirming this message is real. The shaking of that door was not natural, it was supernatural. Because your obedience is breaking things open in the unseen realm. But the enemy doesn't go down without a final attempt. And his final attempt is always the most deceptive. He will send a voice that sounds like love but carries poison. He will send an offer that looks perfect but steals peace. He will send a delay disguised as a blessing. And if you are not spiritually awake, you may step into the very thing that was designed to harm you. This is why I have not stopped speaking. This is why you are still reading. Because heaven would not allow you to enter this next phase blind. You are being prepared. And preparation is protection. My beloved, do not be shocked if something strange happens in the next few hours. A message from an unexpected person. A sudden emotion that doesn't match the moment. A dream that feels more real than usual. These are not coincidences, they are clues. The Holy Spirit is now aligning signs in your favor, but you must stay sensitive. Don't ignore the unusual. Don't brush away the whisper. Because your next instruction is coming not through thunder, but through a whisper. And those who ignore the whisper will miss the miracle. And now, I must reveal one more thing. There is a name that is being spiritually highlighted. Someone connected to your past. Someone who once carried your trust, but dropped it when you needed them most. They are being used again. Not to destroy you completely, but to delay you long enough that you miss what's coming. But I declare now, in the name of the Most High, their influence over your life ends today. You may feel a chill, or tears may rise without warning. That's not fear. That's freedom. Because your spirit is being released. You are no longer under their shadow. You are no longer tied to their decision. You are free. And with that freedom comes favor. With that clarity comes calling. With that awareness comes acceleration. You were never meant to stay stuck. You were always meant to soar. And now the sky is clearing. Now the clouds are parting. Now the tragedy has been seen for what it is, a setup for a supernatural turnaround. But do not relax yet. There is still more to be said. The next portion of this message will show you how to walk into the miracle. You've been warned. You've been awakened. And now, you must be aligned. My child, my beloved, your life is about to pass through a divine checkpoint. And once you cross this line, nothing will ever be the same again. What the enemy meant for tragedy, Heaven is rewriting as testimony. But this sacred reversal only happens for those who do not look away from the warning. That's why this moment, this exact heartbeat, is not just a message. It's a portal. You've stepped into it by staying with these words, and now I must take you deeper. What I reveal next is not for the faint of heart. It's not for the doubters or the half-awake. It is for you, the chosen one, the one who still believes even when everything around you tries to crush that belief. And I see it now, God is rising in your story. And the enemy is trembling. My child, I must tell you another truth. Your story has been under watch. Not just by heaven, but by those who envy your light. Some smiled in your face but resented your resilience. They watched you go through battles they thought would destroy you, but when you didn't fall apart, they grew bitter. Some even said, "How are they still standing?" They don't understand that you were being held up by angels. That even when you felt weak, your spirit was surrounded. But now they want to shake what they couldn't break. And they are planning to speak again, this time louder. This is the moment that determines whether their words take root or get uprooted before they land. There is a divine firewall heaven is trying to place around you. But it must be installed before sunset. I know that may sound strange, but it's true. In the next few hours, something will be said. Something will be sent. It may look like a message, a phone call, or even a silence that feels heavier than normal. That moment is the final piece of the trap. But you are now aware. You now hold the power to walk around what was set to make you fall. Your obedience in this moment activates protection that stretches far beyond this hour. It covers your name, your family, your finances, your future. All of it. My child, my beloved, it grieves me to say this, but someone is walking toward you with a message that is not from God. They may look familiar. They may sound loving. But there is something hidden behind their eyes that they won't say out loud. Their words may carry smiles, but their heart is carrying something else entirely. And here is what you must understand, they are not the enemy, but they are being used by one. That is why your soul has been feeling unsafe lately. That's why you've been second-guessing people who never gave you reason to before. Because your spirit sees what your eyes do not. And heaven is confirming it now through me. You are being warned not to entertain every voice that enters your life this week. Because one of those voices will try to twist your path away from where God was about to take you. This is why the enemy is in a hurry. Because something good, something life-changing, is about to arrive for you. There is a divine window opening, and your name is on the list of those being called into it. And the moment the enemy saw that blessing was approved, he sent a disruption. Not a storm you could see coming, but a slow-moving tragedy disguised as good advice, false love, or helpful concern. But I, Archangel Michael, see straight through the deception. And I am standing between you and the destruction, if you let me. But I need you to stay open. Stay here. Receive the next few words I'm about to share, because they are not coming from me, they are coming from the highest place in heaven. God is speaking. And what he says now is sacred. The tragedy that is trying to approach you is not just about you. It's about your bloodline. Your decisions today are echoing through generations. And the enemy knows if he can shake you, he can delay them. This is why he's fighting so hard right now. But the fact that you're still reading, still standing, still holding on, means he has not won. And he never will, unless you give him permission by walking away from the truth being revealed to you now. I say this with the deepest love. Do not be casual with this moment. I know life is full of distractions. I know your heart has been tired. But this is not the time to sleep. This is not the time to brush off your instincts. This is the time to listen, because what you hear now could break the curse, close the trap, and unlock the miracle in one holy motion. Let me be clear, beloved. The person who is being used against you is unaware. They are not wicked, but they are wounded. And it is their wounds that opened the door for the enemy to whisper. They've begun to envy you quietly. They admire your light but resent your growth. They miss who you used to be, because the new version of you makes them feel small. This is why their heart shifted. And heaven showed me the very moment it happened. It was recent. Very recent. And they still smile around you, but their energy has changed. You felt it. That sudden awkwardness. That feeling that they're hiding something. You weren't wrong. Your spirit caught it. And now I'm confirming it. But do not fear. Do not panic. Do not hate them. Instead, rise. Rise into awareness. Rise into authority. Declare over your name that no weapon formed, no matter how secret, shall prosper. Because when you speak, the heavens listen. You are not alone, my child. You were never alone. And right now, angels are gathering in your favor. Even as this message flows, angelic forces are surrounding your name. They are standing in places you cannot see, boardrooms, group chats, family homes, even near doors that were about to open to the wrong people. The angels are guarding your future. But they are waiting for one final signal from you, faith. Your next act of faith will seal what I've started. So take a breath. Speak out loud, God, I receive this message. I receive the warning. And I accept the miracle you've hidden inside it. Those words are powerful, my beloved. Don't just think them, speak them. Because what's coming requires both revelation and activation. This is not about surviving the storm. This is about stopping the storm before it even starts. You have been given that authority. You have been trusted with that spiritual command. And now, something holy is happening. As you read these words, heaven is reviewing the file with your name. And a new page is being written. A page titled, "The Day They Chose to Believe." And when that page is complete, the timeline that was heading toward tragedy will turn. It will shift directions. The conversation being planned against you will fall silent. The opportunity that was about to slip away will come back around. And the person who almost misjudged you will have a change of heart they cannot explain. That is the miracle. That is the mercy.